Now we're going to talk about our most important news story of the day. Being a small government conservative that is worried about the gross expansion of the nanny state implies a number of different things, like jailing women that get abortions, jailing doctors that facilitate said abortion, jailing teachers that teach critical race theory or whatever you consider is critical race theory. Another fundamental American idea, a principle that was a God-given right offered to us by the Constitution, which was written by demigods themselves, is putting body cameras in schools, putting body cameras on teachers so we make sure that they are not teaching inappropriate things to our children. I'm Tucker Carlson, and tonight we cover the most important news story that is overtaking America right now.
Pretty obvious suggestion on the show last night. Why don't we have civilian review boards for our schools? It's not like schools aren't important. They're maybe the most important thing we pay for. In a lot of places, they're the main thing we pay for. They're the biggest budget item in most towns, schools. So why don't we know what's happening in the classrooms? Why don't we have cameras in every classroom? It's obvious. We have cameras monitoring Congress, city council meetings. Our police officers are required to wear cameras. And now more than ever. It used to be we just trusted what they were teaching our kids. Now we know a lot of them are demented and they're teaching poison. The biggest teachers union in the country just came out in support of racist struggle session in kindergarten. The video we do have is not reassuring at all. Over the past year, you've seen all kinds of cell phone footage with teachers saying shocking things, berating vaccinated students, for example, for not wearing their obedience masks. Watch.
I don't care if you're vaccinated, you little dink. I don't want to get sick and die.
Okay.
There's other people you can infect just because you're vaccinated. You know what? You're not a special person around here. You should hear about how everybody talks about you. You're a jerk.
Talk to me. I don't care how people
You're
talk
a
about
jerk.
That's so funny, dude. Tucker Carlson justifying the use of body cameras on teachers by showing an example that is uncommon or even could be like literally deserved, okay? But then when we talk about body cameras on cops, you know, in an effort to scale back on like the police brutality, that is a basic function of the police force. Like, oh, I don't know about that. I got to watch that. I got to rewatch what she did.
I don't care if you're vaccinated, you little dink.
I should say, you little dink.
You should hear about how everybody talks about you. You're a jerk.
You're a jerk. I bet he's a fucking jerk. I bet he's a little dink, dude. Okay. Now, the teacher's being a little abusive there, okay? She's going balls to the wall there, for sure. Dude, teachers put up with so much shit, dude. You're not gonna get me to talk shit about teachers, okay? I'm not. It's not happening. They put up with our fucking dumbasses nonstop. I know all the young folk in this chat, all the Zoomers are probably like upset at me for saying this because when you are a student, you literally think your teachers are demons and they are devils, and some of them are fucking douchebags, okay? There are a lot of bad teachers out there, don't get me wrong. But ultimately, like, they're getting paid incredibly low wages to educate the youth of America and put up with actual little dinks like this kid, okay? I certainly developed an appreciation for teachers after I graduated from high school. I will let you know. Like, when I was in high school, I was like, fuck, these teachers suck, dude. I hate them. That's why I always say, like, young folk have an anarchist slant to them, like where a teacher is a form of authority, an unjustifiable hierarchy placed upon you. It's unacceptable. I get it. You will grow and you will learn to appreciate your teachers, especially because they put up with a lot of shit, dude. I mean, I say this as someone who, like, you know, went to school in Turkey. Like, our teachers used to make us do insane shit, like completely unacceptable in America. Push-ups, pull your fucking ear, you know, beat your fucking hand with a ruler, make you do this, like corporal punishment, all sorts of shit.
Yeah, that's totally normal. So why don't we know what's going on in classrooms? Well, again, last night we suggested, what's the answer? Why shouldn't we?
The irony is his wife is like an ex-teacher, by the way. Like, he's literally married to a teacher.
Matt Walsh hosts the Matt Walsh Show. He's one of the wise ones. We want to ask his view of this. Matt Walsh, thanks so much for coming on tonight. This is one of these things that someone suggested to me in conversation yesterday morning. I wish I'd thought of it myself. Maybe people have been talking about it. I didn't know.
I'm a teacher and your chat behaves the same way my students do, talking to memes, saying things to troll, and always trying to debate me by saying things like, it's top of the hour, it's time for ads. Oh my fucking God. Son of a bitch. Yeah, we need to put body cameras on all teachers. I take it back. The thing I was going to say about teachers, though, ultimately, like, they put up with a lot of shit from the kids. They put up with a lot of shit from the parents, especially. But I am in favor of making sure that our teachers are adequately trained and well paid and happy. Happy workers lead to better, more productive outcomes. I am not, however, in favor of putting body cameras on them because I'm not a fucking libertarian creep. What Tucker Carlson's doing here is once again engaging in like Fox News style advocacy for homeschooling by trying to create panic and fear in the minds of America's brain dead conservatives that watch him, to be fearful that like their teachers are indoctrinating the youth. It's a very old conservative idea. They always have done that.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that, I guess? Let me ask you that question.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I have to admit that the reform I would prefer for the public school system is to just destroy it, reform it with a wrecking ball. I don't think it should exist at all. But if it's going to exist...
Matt Walsh doesn't think the public school system should exist. Incredible takes.
They're in these government buildings. Maybe I think there are a lot of parents who don't want to confront or acknowledge what exactly they're doing when they send their kid to public school. You're sending them to a government building for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, 9 months a year for 12 years. That's what's happening. You should want to know what is going on, what's going on inside that building when they're there all that time. Now,
yeah, what are they doing? Huh? The fuck are they doing? Teaching our children? One could say teaching is like fucking. A fucking of the brain. We need to stop it. We need to stop teachers from penetrating the brains of our children. Isn't this guy literally a Catholic? Or no, he's an evangelical, right? I don't actually know. Matt Walsh, he says he's a theocratic fascist. Oh yeah, he is Catholic. He knows a thing or two about pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? Yo, why don't we put body cams on fucking Catholic priests, dude? How about that? I mean, he's a libertarian and he's Catholic. This is a double whammy. I'm sorry. Obviously, not all Catholics.
There's the real reason why the left doesn't want this, and then there's the reason that they give us, which of course oftentimes are two different things. The reason they give us is that it's a privacy concern, or it's even a free speech concern. But first of all, teachers as government employees, in their capacity as government employees working with kids, they shouldn't get privacy or free speech.
Teachers as a government employee shouldn't get free speech? What? Dude, this is the funniest thing about like fascists. They will very openly admit that like free speech is only something that we use to get fucking dumbass liberals on our side. Like, oh, what about diversity of opinion? The moment that we're going to get any power, we're going to fucking abolish that notion. And conservatives do that anyway. Like, they very openly do that. They're like, free speech, I hate cancel culture. And then they fucking have been losing their goddamn minds over CRT. They're teaching our children that, black people did not like being enslaved. If you did not like being enslaved, I hate that. Even when conservatives were talking about how much they hated cancel culture, the number one book burnings or book cancellations were still not like fucking Dr. Seuss, okay? It was LGBT-focused books. Body cameras on police, unironically, do raise a lot of privacy concerns, for the record. Like, there are reasonable counters to body cameras. Like, there are very reasonable and criticisms you can make about body cameras, okay? One of which is the privacy concerns. Now, in that circumstance, given what cops do and given what cops have done historically and still continue to do to this day, the benefits of body cameras is supposed to outweigh the negative consequences of the invasion of privacy or the misuse of body camera footage. With teachers using body cameras or teachers having body cameras strapped to them at all points in time while they're teaching little kids is psychotic. There's no benefit to it, and it's all just fucking gross invasion of privacy.
They don't want us to know what goes on inside that building.
Well, but
and they don't think, as you said, we have a right to know.
Let's be totally blunt here. I mean, most teachers are great. I'm married to a former teacher. I'm not against teachers, but some teachers are creepy. And we know that because they want to talk to other people's prepubescent kids about sex in pretty detailed ways. You're a creep if you do that. I mean, let's just be totally clear about it. So anyone who'd want to talk to like a third grader about sex practices, don't you think we need to have a camera on that person?
And that's another thing where that shouldn't be happening at all, even with a camera.
I agree.
But it does happen.
This is so gross and so creepy that you fucking sick freaks want to watch children learn about sex ed. Just say you're a fucking libertarian and move on, dude. We get it. You're using too many words to describe that you're a fucking pedophile, okay? Use less words. Just say that you're a pedophile and move on, okay? It is incredibly fucking weird to just be like, what we need to do is like, well, teachers might be creepy with our children. We have to watch them, educate kids about sex ed. I wish sex ed was not just like abstinence only education in certain places, and like children were actually learning about sexual education. In places that they do, the teenage pregnancy rate is a little bit lower. There's also a correlation with places that have that, states that have that also, you know, have more accessible reproductive health resources. But, you know, what the fuck do I know? I mean, these motherfuckers unironically are just like, don't teach children about the biological composition of children or adults, or just don't teach children about sex ed. It's gross. It's such a fucking Neanderthal caveman take, dude. People get mad at sex ed because your parents just want to fucking lie to you about masturbation. If you got some freak ass fucking parents that think that like masturbation is a sin, they want to impose that kind of puritanical psychopathic ideology on your children and like fuck you up. That's it. That's the reason why these motherfuckers are mad, because like another adult in a position of authority is going to be like, actually, that's fucking wrong. Your parents are delusional and stupid. That's what the fuck they're mad about.
If you can think of something that could happen like that, it shouldn't be happening in the classroom to begin with. Whatever's happening there should be open for anyone to see, or at least, you know, you could have the cameras in there. And parents who have custody of children could be password protected.
Exactly.
And they could have the password access. There are many ways of doing this.
If there's something happening in a public school that shouldn't be on film, it shouldn't be happening in the first place. And it's kind of an unassailable point of reasoning, and I appreciate it. Matt Walsh, thank you.
Yes, I'm brilliant, by the way. Like children should not poop in public schools because you can't film that. It should not happen. Good take. We need to stop children from using the bathroom in schools, I think. No peeing, no poo-poo, no pee-pee. You're done. Shouldn't happen because you can't film it. Everything that happens in a public school should be something you can film and watch and review.